friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. If you are new here, welcome, and I hope you will stick around. Be sure to hit that little subscribe button down below before you head out, and without further ado, let's just get to this video. Before you ask, lip combo will be linked down below. From the title, you've seen that this is my Konmari closet makeover. What is that, you may ask? Konmari is the method that was developed by Marie Kondo. She is a Japanese author and just master tidier. She is really awesome. She wrote the book called, I believe, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I will have it linked down below. I should know that, but I have always listened to it on Audible, and I'm kind of like a visual person when it comes to remembering names of things, but it is truly life-changing. Ever since we moved into this house, we have just kind of like piled all of our stuff places and haven't really taken the time to really like get settled, to go through things, and it's been a while and it was super necessary. So I have been in major nesting mode. Kyle went out of town a couple of weekends ago for work, and I took advantage of the alone time to just go to work on our closet. It needed it so badly. So before we kind of get into how I implemented this method, I will show you a before of what everything looked like. I'm kind of embarrassed, I'm not gonna lie. So you can see we just had clothes stuffed to the brim in our closet. I mean, it was just crazy. I was that person who really hung everything and only kept very certain things like jammies and socks and stuff in drawers, and it was just getting so overwhelming. It was hard to find things. I was wearing the same things over and over because I had no idea really what I had anymore, and it was just time for like a serious declutter. You can also see that I had stuff in what will be Selah's closet in the nursery. I had coats in the coat closet. I just kind of had clothes all over this house. It was a nightmare. I had no good organization system for my purses or my shoes. My shoes were just like laying on the floor. My purses were everywhere, like some kind of mixture between our closet, my filming room, which is a disaster, but we're working on that too. Video to come. And basically we just needed like a big overhaul of everything. Whoa, I feel like we just totally lost our light. Son, where did you go? Now let's go back in time and talk about the process and where you really begin. Marie suggests that you collect all of whatever type of item you are sorting. So for me, this was my clothes, all in one spot, and you have to collect it from all over the house. You can't just go like piece by piece, like closet, dresser, guest closet, all of that. You have to do it all at once. And so I went about collecting all my clothes from my dresser, all my clothes from my closet, all the clothes from Selah's closet, and all the clothes from the coat closet, and basically ended up with a ginormous mountain of clothes on my floor. It was basically the middle of the night, which is why my lighting is so wonky, but I had to wait for Grace to go down because I figured she may not be the most helpful assistant in this task, and since Kyle was out of town, nighttime was kind of my only time to do it. She suggests doing this in pure silence and sorting all of your stuff. I can't with the silence. So I put on a couple of movies that I've seen a million times and do not need to watch, look, or listen to because I just know them by heart basically, but they were just on in the background to give me something else to focus on other than just this really daunting task at hand. So I began sorting. Her theory is that you have to handle, like physically handle each item of clothing and determine whether or not it brings you joy. I totally felt like Emily Gilmore. No joy, no joy, no joy. Where are my other Gilmore Girls fans at? I just could not believe how much stuff I had. I still had stuff like from high school. I worked in fashion retail for a couple of years, so I had just tons and tons of stuff from those days, and essentially I ended up having to take a break at one point. I was starving, needed a little bit of ramen, but luckily all of my bags behind me gave me a really nice cushion to just kind of like lounge on while I relaxed for a sec. I don't think I got a final shot of all of my bags because Kyle got home, swooped in, and immediately took everything to Goodwill, but I believe I ended up with 13 bags to give away. Now, I could have sold some of this, I'm sure, because it was all in pretty good condition, but I just don't have the time or the energy to like go through and photograph and categorize and all those types of things. So I just figured so much of this I've had for a long time, barely worn, and that it should go to a home where someone really needs it and is going to appreciate it. And then I was just left with the pile of clothes that I wanted to keep, which was still rather large and intimidating because then you have to basically fold it all. Bonus points if your toddler decides that this new pile of clothes is her new playground. Maria's very big on folding versus hanging. She says if it looks like it would be happy on a hanger, then hang it, but otherwise everything should be folded and that's how it's happiest. The Konmari folding method is very different than how we typically think of things. Things are not stacked in a drawer on top of each other because then ultimately you don't ever see what's on the bottom. Things get squished. She says that that poor garment on the bottom is just having to bear the load of everything else. And so she actually has a different method of folding things where each item should individually be able to kind of stand up on its own, and then you stack them side by side in your drawers. I'll walk you through this folding method now, but if you want a more in-depth tutorial, let me know. I had to do some serious YouTubing because I didn't actually have the book. It's described, but like I said, I was listening to it on audio, so I didn't have a visual. But basically, you want to take each item, you want to lay it flat, run your hands over it, smooth out any wrinkles. I always flip it over, and then I fold it in thirds, and then I fold the end up almost to the top, but not quite. And then I'll fold the top down kind of into the middle to create another section of thirds, and then that last section up to meet it, and then it should stand up nice and straight. So basically, I went from hanging everything to hanging almost nothing, which was really overwhelming at first because I had so many piles of clothes to fold. I like separated it out into sweaters, sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, and poor Kyle and Grace had to deal with like piles upon piles in our room for many days because it took me that long to get through it. So moral of the story is leave yourself ample time for this project and also give yourself some grace because it's gonna take a while. And the middle is not so pretty. The end is totally worth it. Some of the things that actually did make the cut for being hung were things like jackets, things like dresses, shirts made out of like really slippery chiffon type of material that like you just couldn't fold even if you wanted to. That was pretty much what made it back into my closet on hangers. Now I can kind of give you a tour of the after. So you can see in our process of redoing the nursery and everything, we've moved this dresser into our closet. I've gotten Kyle on board the KonMari folding method. It is pretty awesome. He actually like surprised me by putting that dresser in there and like KonMari folding all of his jeans. I was like, such a proud wife. So he and I kind of share this dresser in here, and then I actually only have about one rack now that is hung, and the rest of our closet is kind of just like open, which is nice. I really like it. It feels so much bigger and way less just like crowded and overbearing. But I wanted to kind of mention how I hung my scarves. I thought about folding these and then I was like, oh, forget it. Like, no way. I'm a total scarf person. I was gonna get some fancy scarf hanger or do the like little showering trick, and then I was like, why? I've been hanging my scarves on hangers without any of that nonsense for years and years and years. So really all I do is I take it over, kind of like doubled in half, I take it and then pull it through so that it, you know, is like secure on there. And I put about 5 scarves per hanger, so I have about 3 hangers of them. So don't feel like you have to just go get some fancy scarf hanger if you have a bunch of scarves. You can totally just do it with whatever hangers you have. As for my shoes, Kyle went to IKEA and got me a couple of shoe racks, so my shoes just look, oh my gosh, they look a million times better. Clearly you can see I have a Sam Edelman addiction. They're like the only shoes I wear or buy now because they're so comfortable and yet they're affordable and they last forever. And then we still need to get one last shoe rack for Kyle's shoes, and I would ideally, in my craziness, like to transfer all of Kyle's clothes onto the same type of hangers that I have so that everything matches, but we'll get there. And then with those shelves that were in our closet, those got a total makeover. So I have 2 bins at the top. One is being used for hats and little small accessories like belts and stuff. And then the other one actually is housing all of my jewelry. that needs to be KonMari'd in and of itself, but I just for now kind of put it in there, and we'll have to tackle that another day. And then I also just reorganized all of my bags. I did take Marie Kondo's advice and I stacked all of my bags kind of by size, and I nestled some of them in each other so that they are stored efficiently and effectively, but I can still kind of see and get to everything I need to get to. I also have my kind of daily makeup basket up on one of these shelves, which is very handy since our closet is off of our bathroom. If you want to see how I put that together, I actually did a video over on the HGTV Handmade channel. I'll have that link down below. I love this system. I've been using it now for a really long time and it just works really well. And then my dresser just looks like $1 million if I do say so myself. I mean, look at this sock drawer. I just love it. This sock drawer makes me really, really happy. I'm all about the fun socks, guys. But you can see they're all stacked right next to each other. So nothing is on top, nothing is getting squished, nothing is getting lost and forgotten. I can see everything. I have t-shirts lined up. I have some long sleeve shirts. I have everything very nicely organized. Luckily, everything kind of fit well into drawers. I even have sweaters like folded, which I thought was going to be kind of impossible because I am a really big chunky sweater kind of girl. But even though they're bulky, they work really well folded. So I am pretty pumped about this whole thing. In general, I love the process of getting dressed so much more. I just find it so much less overwhelming. I can see what I have. I've been wearing things that I've totally forgotten that I had, and I'm so glad I did this. It took me, like I said, it took me much longer than I really wanted. If you don't have kids or your kids are older or whatever, this could probably, you could knock it out in like a day. But for me, because you know, toddler life, busy mom life, I don't have that luxury. So I kept having to work in like little chunks of time, but I just can't say how happy I am with how everything turned out. My closet now makes me so, so happy. And I love walking in there as opposed to being like, ugh, this closet's a mess, I need to do something with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this KonMari closet makeover. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you would like to see me KonMari next. I definitely have a lot I want to do before the baby gets here, so Lord bear me strength and time. Also, don't forget to let me know if you would like to see me doing some more folding. I will be doing Vlogmas at all of y'all's request. I brought that up and a bunch of you said yes, yes, yes to Vlogmas, so that could be something I could totally see being worked into one of the Vlogmas days, because let's be serious, I'm gonna have to do laundry sometime in December, so you can see me kind of put this method to action on a little bit larger scale. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're still enjoying your holiday weekend. I know I certainly am, and I will see y'all in my next video on Wednesday. Love you guys. Bye.